Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I'm back. It's been really crazy, and I don't know if I was going to come back or not. I've been going through a lot with my family, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that here on this video, and a lot with the Lord. There's a lot I was almost put out, and then He just stopped me for a number of different reasons I'm going to get into a little bit, but I wanted to put this out for you. This is not going to be as long as my normal videos because I'm going to have more detail on some of the things I'm going to be talking about on this video in the next one. So let me just go forward here. So I'm going to do a little bit of a a Rorschach test kind of. This is a like an Rorschach test ink blot. If you're not familiar with the Rorschach test, then maybe look it up. But this is the continent of Africa, of course, on the left here. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. And I don't know why I'm starting the video with this, but I feel like I want to, so I'm going to. Do you see the face in this? I'm wondering if you see the face in this thing. And it's really bizarre because when I was looking, I'm looking at, where the Truman's going and where the Abraham Lincoln's going. And I look at, you know, shapes of things. And I was seeing the spear that basically was up here. There's a spear shape and they're using that as the tip of the spear. In fact, when Trump, I don't know. I'm just going into this right now, but when Trump addressed some military on Christmas Eve, you can look up the video from I think from the White House or something. He talked to the guy who was the head or the captain of the USS Forrest Sherman, and he said, "We're the tip of the spear here." And they were actually stationed right there where the spear is. If you see my last videos, you know what I'm talking about. I'll go back and look at them. Last several videos, or last few videos, I mean, you'll see the tip of the spear and how Trump's the tip of the spear. But I'm looking at Africa and I'm just like, that looks like a face. And things were sticking out like crazy. Like, it was just very bizarre. Like this monoceros, it was reminding me of like a rhino's head here, and then there's the rhino's horn. It's called the Horn of Africa. Even more than that, I was seeing this face here. Like there's a nose, lip down there, and then like the eye would be in here, and then this is the skull basically, and all that. And I'm like, and then I end up looking at another version of this, and I couldn't believe what I saw and the position of the main bodies of water. Let me go back to that word, get out of there. And then look where the bodies of water are, the main bodies of water in Africa. And it even more looks like an eye and maybe even crying or something. It's really bizarre. And I couldn't help but thinking about, the top of the head being like a wound and then the forehead being a little horn. I don't know. And I just thought of this guy. And, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying definitively that that's something, but it's very bizarre that it kind of fits with several things I've been talking about. You have this. I don't know. I gotta get that out of there. But and then you have. It's just weird. It's in the right spot where the eye should be with this thing. It's just weird. So take it however you want. I don't know. But then also, this is another hidden image. I've dealt with this image of the presidential portrait several times. Other people have shown how there's a serpent head behind him, how right here he's hiding a sixth finger right here, things like that, and how his foot is I've shared how this foot down here is a snake. Either side, I can't really point to with this. Anyway, it's a black snake slithering in the garden. And there's so many things. And look at this image here of this goat, or you can maybe even call it a dragon. It depends on how you look at it, but he is the goat. He is the God of all things as they look at it, as iPet goat, for example. So I just wanted you to see this. And then I'm going to show you an image that's a little bit less annoying, and that is my little twins. This is Kieran, and this is Carson. Carson's a couple pounds heavier than Kieran. They're twins. They're not identical. As you can kind of see the difference there, but they are twins. and they're amazing. And God gave me this understanding of a twin birth far before we even were pregnant or anything like that. As I've shared, the twin birth of the man child into heaven, which is, the body of Christ or the bride of Christ, and then the Antichrist, Barack Obama, on earth. And he's given me dreams and visions on this kind of stuff and showing me with all kinds of evidence of a lot of this stuff. And I'm not saying that my kids are either one's good, one's bad, or anything like that. Not at all. But it's just how God used representations and examples in our lives. And one other thing I wanted to share with you, one of the things I was going through, there's several things trying to catch up financially. It's very difficult right now, being Christmas time and everything. Putting myself out on the line there for these videos and things, probably a little bit too much maybe, but I'm just used to caring about people that much and not caring as much about myself, even though I have to take care of my family. So I'm doing that. But my little one here, Kieran, right here, this guy right here, super cute. They're both amazingly cute and amazing. He On Christmas, he was very, like, his life had been sucked out of him. It was very crazy. He was very lethargic, super lethargic, sleeping several more times than normal. And we prayed for him in the morning. It was very bizarre the way he was acting. Um, we had taken his temperature several times. There was no temperature, but he was acting like he was very sick. In fact, I forget what you call it now. I can't ever remember what you call it, but where the skull comes together on the top, there's a space where there's a soft spot. And as the skull's coming together, and it was bulged a little bit. And my wife looked up some information on that, and it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. And it's easy for people to go into fear. And had a little bit of fear, and especially my wife was very concerned about midday, even though we prayed a couple times and it hadn't made a difference necessarily that we experienced for sure. And so I just really, I'd prayed earlier and asked the Lord for understanding. And then around midday, it was like, okay, he's not getting any better. I was feeling a little bit of fear. My wife was feeling a lot of fear, but I really feel like the Lord was showing me something here. And because there was no fever, I felt like it was an attack from the enemy. And like many attacks that we've gone through, especially since doing videos, and I could kind of tell certain things were happening. I just wanted her to come up into another room and with the babies, and I wanted to talk to her. So I talked to her the best I could to support her and just say, hey, I have some of this fear as well can be inside of me for our kids. But I really feel like the Lord's showing us that we need to stand for him like we have many, many times, and stand through the fear and trust him. And I had shared some really good stuff with her that I felt inspired to share and say, and she felt really good about it. And I just said, all these things that we've been through, and we prayed for each other, and we have this thing where our other two kids and us, we call it I call it the square of prayer, and we kind of join hands, and we get into this four of us. We pray for stuff. We pray for people. We pray for ourselves, and things get healed, and it's amazing. And what the Lord does, and sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it's instant. And my son recently said we should do this more, and we do it more than we have in a while, especially when things are happening like this. And so here he was, just very lethargic. She's holding him. I'm holding Carson, my other son, twin son, and he's laying his head against her chest. And I just, after finishing talking with her about this stuff, I just felt like, let's both agree and take authority over this right now. And I put my hand on his head, and I said, in Jesus' name, we rebuke this illness in the name of Jesus. And we pray that healing be completely restored, or his health be completely restored. And then sooner than I lift my hand off his head, then his head just came right up. He all popped up, like he's all awake and everything. He was laying kind of about to go to sleep again, and he lifted his head up and he looked around, and he was just like normal Kieran. Like I was just And we were both kind of shocked. We were like, whoa, this is crazy. And this stuff works. Even though we've seen it work so many times, but then sometimes things are just, circumstances are so tough. And it's hard to trust. And I'm just sharing this with you, and because I'm just trying to be somewhat transparent about life and the importance of walking with Jesus and him and knowing him. And it's important. It's important. And things are coming that are going to be out of our control, and people are going to be, a lot of you are going to go through a lot of stuff, and just know that he's there. He can heal. He can do amazing miracles in your life like this. I was just so amazed. And then we watched him the rest of the night, and in fact, he wouldn't go down to sleep. He was just so up, and he was laughing at times, and just, it was amazing. And this first half of the day, he wasn't like that. He wasn't himself. He wasn't, and we just got rid of the spirit that was attacking us, I guess. It was just insane. There was no fever at all or anything, and it looked bad. And then in a couple days later, that spot that which it was bulged a little bit is completely down. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So I just wanted to share that beautiful experience with you, as opposed to this ugliness of this guy and all this hidden imagery and all this stuff that they show. And I don't know why I did the Africa thing, but it's just really crazy. There's so much in this world that the enemy hides to conceal his plans. And if we can see a little bit and magnify God instead, it's huge. So that's awesome. So I want to share. Wow, I guess I had that out of order here. Okay, anyway, I want to share what I think is pretty much happening right now and what's about to happen. And I'm gonna get into more in my next video and more in depth, but I wanted to get something out there for you as soon as possible, because I've been told by the Lord to hold off for several days. And also I've been super tired because of all this. In the last few weeks, I haven't been sleeping very well. And last night or this morning, I had a really good sleep. And it's been a long time since I've had that, for a number of reasons. And I have crazy dreams, and I'm worried about people, and my heart is exercised for people that I care about and what's coming. And I know it's closer and closer and closer. So anyway, let me just give you my 2 cents about what I believe the Lord's showing. And, I'm just trying to piece together the little clues he gives me. And I really feel like he wanted me to put this out today. So he told me this morning I was going to go and work a full day. And he just said he wanted me to stop and do this. And so I did. And I am for you. And then I'm just going to ask for your help in a couple different ways again. So 12/12 was a big day, for what's coming, good things that are coming, but also the very bad stuff that's coming. 12/12 was a type of birth. Again, let me go back here. That was a full moon, and it was on 12/12 at 12:12 a.m. was the full moon. And that's why it shows it that way in iPad Goat, because it's really two timelines, a 12-day and a 13-day and a 12-day. And I'm going to show this to you, and I'm going to have more information on my next video to kind of really support it. And so I'm not going to show you a ton of things, but I'm going to show you some really important things right now. Okay, so 12/12 was important. So again, 12/12 was 33 days from the Golden Gate alignment that I've shown, that was on 11/9. November 9th was the Golden Gate alignment. It was all 5 planets that were the same planets that were in the Revelation 12 sign. Again, I've shared these in my videos, so you can watch the last few videos of mine if you would. It would be a benefit to you. Last several, maybe even all of the last series of the episodes that I've shared, so you learn some things about it. And so 33 days from the Golden Gate sign, that's why it's in gold, the 33. Of course, the Illuminati and Masons and all that, they love 33. And that was a birth on the 33rd day from the Golden Gate alignment, okay, which was 12/12. And that's the apple dropping in a sense. And then 13 days later was 12/25, which is Christmas, which is exactly 46 days later, which again is 23 chromosomes from the mother, 23 chromosomes from the father, symbolizing, which is 46. And that's why it'd be plus 46. But then there's more. So from 25, there's also from the flower opening on the 25th day is also the beginning, and it goes backwards. And I'm not going to explain all that right now, but I'll explain some of it. And that's 12 days, or you could say the 12 days of Christmas. And this is a mainly Catholic construct of the 12 days of Christmas. And so when Kim Jong-un was talking about a Christmas gift, which is equal to 9/12 in English gematria, which is very crazy, the attack days that are coming. And he was talking about the 12 days of Christmas, not necessarily the Christmas day that the masses know, but there's actually 12 days of Christmas. As in the song, on the first day of Christmas, that song, the 12 days of Christmas. So, and there's a lot of symbolism in that, but I'm going to get into some of that. And so that ends up being from 1225, which is another birth, because of a number of things I'm going to get into. The 12th day of Christmas is January 5th, and then the next day, the 6th, is the Epiphany, which is when I believe the Antichrist will be revealed, 5th to the 6th, which is a 12/13 day process, okay, and which we're in the middle of right now. Okay, and that is 1/5 is 58 days past the Golden Gate alignment. And they were really into it. Like I said, another thing that confirmed the Golden Gate alignment, even though that it was a perfect alignment parallel to the Golden Gate Bridge, right over the Golden Gate Bridge on 11/9, was also, like Daniel, my brother Daniel Cannon on Logic Before Authority, confirmed for me as I was really looking at this possibility that this was a Golden Gate alignment, and it was just blowing my mind because I saw this perfect alignment. He showed on his video how all these fires in California were in parallel to, and I noticed that they were parallel to the Golden Gate Bridge on the ground, and they were exact order of 4 planets, the sun, and then another planet, and the biggest fire was basically the spot where the sun was. Anyway, and I've shared that in previous videos, so I'm just talking about it a little bit here. Okay, so again, the apple falls on. So I'm gonna talk about on 12/25 being the birth, again, a second birth, or basically from 12/12 to 12/25 was a foreshadowing, in a sense, of the actual birth. And there's several examples of the birth. They just love to put this all over the place. It's just amazing. So anyway, here's the apple rolling chorus. And then I want to show you this. See, if you go back and forth here, you can see this top area right here. This is the revelation. She's in the sun, and this is the eclipse. Okay, that will just happen. And this right here, because this falls, this is Jupiter. And then that's showing that this is Jupiter, because this is Jupiter. And this next, oops, let me go here. This is Jupiter. This is Jupiter with the stripes, but it's a kind of a reddish version because it's an apple. It's stripes, and then that's the spot on Jupiter. And so that's showing that this is Jupiter right here. This is Jupiter by this apple rolling right by it, and kind of in the shadow a little bit. So it's not, again, it's really hidden, but this is Jupiter. Okay, and then let me confirm that more. So as the apple rolls, and you can see that spot up there more, which is Jupiter. Okay, in fact, it's got like a tail right here, so it looks like it looks like it's kind of, or like a paint spot, and then it was pulled this way, like a tail, like it's going this way, like it's motion going this way, and I'm going to show you that. So upside down, it's really this. Okay, it's the eclipse that happened on 12/25 in the United States. Now it's 12/26 where it actually happened, predominantly in the Middle East, but all over that area. Even Israel saw it. I could see it, but it was just crazy. So this is this is really proving to me, and I hope a lot of you, that you can understand that this is really, this is Jupiter right here, and this is the eclipse that just happened. And then watching the Heliofont logo at the end of iPad Go 2, it moves. It really moves, and then it lights up. You see that? I'm just going to go back and forth here. But it's like the eye on eye in Heliofont, or the dot on the eye, and then it's moving to the right to make its final spot as Jupiter, in a sense, by the sun and the moon in that eclipse. Here's more proof of that. Here is when the eclipse happened. Again, I have it set in Stellarium from my vantage point of where I live for this example, but no, we couldn't see it from where I live at all. But so, of course, it's not going to show it inside. And I maybe could have done it from like Saudi Arabia or whatever, but I just did it this way. But you can see how Jupiter's right here. So that's the example right there. Did you see that? And how that eclipse, and then Jupiter's right there. And then how it's shown with the woman or Lily sitting in the sun, and then the Jupiter's up above there. Okay, so, and then I wanted to show a couple shots of the actual eclipse that happened. This was live, and I took some screenshots of, a couple different stages, and there's the Ring of Fire. And again, Ring of Fire has to do with, if you've had children at all and you know some of these terms, Ring of Fire is when the baby's coming out. And that's not a coincidence they call it that. And it's also the Ring of Fire is what is around the whole Pacific, with the center being Hawaii, which is where the baby is from and coming out, which is Obama's from Hawaii. Remember that. The Ring of Fire goes around the whole Pacific. Okay, from the east to the west, north, south. I mean, it's all the way around. The Ring of Fire, they call it. Okay, so Heliofont in its logo, like I said, is the eclipse and Jupiter. This is an actual picture from the eclipse by a professional photographer. Does that look like this a little bit? I mean, are you kidding me? And then notice Jupiter, when I was showing it going back and forth, Jupiter's lit up now when it shows it right here. And that's putting the emphasis on Jupiter, as in the birth of Jupiter. Okay, or as in the name Heliofont means basically the god Helios. Okay, basically Helios child, or even maybe even the birth. Could be even birth of Helios. Okay, enfant in French, it means baby basically, or child. And so this is basically, or it could also be a form of name of the etymology could be birth. So it could be the Helios child, or Helios birth. And Helios was the Titan god of the sun, the guardian of oaths, the god of sight. Helios was depicted as a handsome, usually beardless man clothed in purple robes and crowned with the lightning aureole of the sun. Okay? Okay, and so I want to show you this. So like I showed you before, this is Obama with this on his face. That's Jupiter, or Helios. That's the annual eclipse showing the birth, and that's on his face. And then like I've shown, when it just said he was clothed in purple, and this is his tassel that's ultraviolet or purple, and then he's covered with purple. He's the only figure in the back that has purple on him. And of course he's known by his ears. See that ear right there? There's the same ear right there. He's the only figure with an ear, and Obama's known for his big ears. Okay, there's so much in this. I'm just going to cover some things on this video. Okay, the Roman festival of Saturnalia took place between December 17th and 23rd and honored the Roman god Saturn. And again, this is all wind up to this time. Okay, so December 17th to the 23rd was in the first apple roll that I was talking about. Okay, this is all ties in, even back into November and things I've been talking about that, about mirrors and not the 9 and the 9 and all that kind of stuff they've shown ahead of time. But okay, so it honored the Roman god Saturn. Dies Natalis Solis Invictus means birthday of the unconquered sun, and was held on December 25th, when the Romans thought the winter solstice took place, and was the birthday of the pagan sun god Mithra. In the pagan religion of Mithraism, the holy day was Sunday, and this is where we got that word from. Okay, we get the word from Sunday. In fact, January 5th, which will be the 12th day of Christmas, is on Sunday, the day of the sun god. Where this all comes from. All our days of the week are from these religions. It's really sick, actually. Okay, and so it just so happens that here is Helios. Does this depiction look familiar? I'm going to show you here in a second. If you're not aware of this, you might be aware of this, maybe. I don't know, but okay. But Helios, as in Heliofont, or the sun god, also Apollo, Attis, Perseus, Hercules, Horus, Tammuz, Nimrod, Horus, Krishna, Buddha, Zoroaster, and Jupiter. What do they all have in common? like I said about um, Sol Invictus. Let me go the other way. December 25th is all their birthdays. So all these different religions, Greek, Roman, Hindu, I mean, all these different things, more, several others, have a birthday of their God, of this God, at December 25th. Okay, and Jesus has been lumped in there. Okay, but it's not correct. Jesus, as if we know anything about the scriptures, know anything about, you know, history, know anything about what the scriptures actually explain, Jesus was actually born in the fall. And there's different theories about when exactly. I'm not going to get into all that, but he was definitely not born at this time at all. He was definitely not born on this time. It was the only reason why it was this time was for the birth of the sun god and all these gods. Okay, and that has something to do with all these world religions believing in the same thing, and then one person coming into view, being born during this time on the 12th day of Christmas, starting the birth on the 25th, basically. This is really tying in to bring all these religions together. Okay, there you have it right there. Okay, as I'm showing here. Okay, this is December 25th. Okay, that's what this is showing. Okay, and then again, that is Jupiter. The apple is Jupiter. Okay, and that's the bottom god right there, which was said to be born on December 25th. And you can look up this stuff. It's very crazy. I mean, when I realized all this, all these were on December 25th, I could not believe it, and I knew this was the time. So also, Sol Invictus, what I just described as being the sun god. Okay, it just happens to, and as I said here, to just remind you of something right here, Helios. Oh, it just looks a little bit like, or a lot like, the Statue of Liberty. And then Sol Invictus, which Sol is sun, right? You know, it's maybe, I think it's Latin for sun or something. But it just so happens to spell out exactly Statue of Liberty. SOL. Some people are very SOL very soon. Anyway, I'm just trying to make light of it's not what's coming is really bad, and for the faithful, it's good. For the people who don't really know Jesus and don't trust Him, you're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. The stuff that's coming is going to be unbearable. So, but I want to let you know that Jesus will be there for you. Okay. So 1231. So this would be the seventh day from Christmas, or 1225, the seventh day, the apple hitting on the seventh day, okay? And then it's going past the seven, and then Hawaii is spelt out right here. Like I've shared in previous videos, Hawaii is hidden upside down and backwards in the apple. And so Hawaii is shown there. And so I think there's going to be lava that possibly comes up. And I haven't hit the right day yet, but I think this day is very possibly what it shows on iPad Goat is lava coming out when this happens. So some kind of eruption, lava coming out of Kilauea or something like that. And then we have possibly a head wound on Obama that day, possibly. Or it could be some kind of, figurative or symbolic head wound or something, maybe. Okay, but this is what I'm saying, okay? And then remember, like I shared in one of my past videos, that 8/21/59 was when Hawaii became a state, and you take that all the way up to 8/21/17, which was the eclipse, another solar eclipse. Okay, that was the Great American Solar Eclipse on August 21st, 17. It just so happened to be 58 years exactly from the founding of Hawaii to the solar eclipse, Great American Solar Eclipse. Exactly 58 days to the day, 58 years to the day. Okay, and we're talking about 58. And guess who's 58 right now? Barack Hussein Obama? Yes. Lightning falling from heaven? Yes. And then that is 1231, which is, of course, and like I thought last year, that might be the time, and it's confirmed, and I'm going to share more in my next video. How this is the time, I believe. Again, this is all my speculation, even still, but it's very crazy how this stuff's lining up, and this may have been it all along. So, fireworks and death coming at this time. And by the way, Kim Jong-un is giving an ultimatum to the United States with their crippling sanctions by 12/31. And it looks like Trump, as far as in the theater, this whole theater, Trump's like, no big deal. But he's going to be blamed for all this, and it's going to be very bad. And him being part of all this is going to really make even more angry the people on the left and everything else. And then the conservatives and Christians are going to have their legs knocked out from under them when we get attacked because of what Trump has done. Mr. False Trump, Mr. False. Both sides are false. It's crazy. Okay. So then on the 8th day, so the apple rolls and the C with the apple becomes 8, like I've shared many, many times. Now I'm going to get into this a little bit. So the 8th day, we have basically 11/1. Oh, sorry, let's do this. Okay, so this is the first day of January, technically, okay? But the way the elite look at it is we're not even out of 2019 yet. So I'm telling you, we're not even going into 2020 yet, okay? Because this month, still, December, is Decem, which means in Latin 10. So we're still in the 10th month. And like I've shared many times, there's all kinds of evidence of that, the way the elite look at it. Even Donald Trump himself, when referring to 9/11, said 7/11, confirming that. And people thought he did it on accident, but he didn't. He said it on purpose, that we're actually 2 months off. The masses are 2 months off what the elite know it is. They know the beginning of the year begins in March when the spring happens, not at this time, in the winter, in winter, basically. Okay, so the first month is really still the 11th month. So we have 11/1/19, which is the same as January 1st. So over here, that makes it also 11/19, or 11/1 can be a slash and 19. So we have 11/19, and that is the attack day I've mentioned in previous videos that's shown in iPad Go in several places. 1119, and that happens to be the apple hitting Obama's foot. On the 8th day, Obama's foot looks like a submarine, and I think we're going to have the actual attacks of the Truman and the USS Abraham Lincoln on that day, very possibly. Okay, it also is without the year. 1/1 is also because January is really the 11th month. It's 11/1 or 11/11. I'm sorry, or 1/1/1 or 11/11. Okay, because we have the slash for the day or for the date. So it's 11/11. This could be the whole reason why they're really into 11/11, because that's the actual attack day, because that's what this actually is. And it's 1/1/1 because, like I said, Donald John Trump equals 1110 in English gematria. And many other things I've shown 111s in gematria and all kinds of things. In fact, like I've shared before, 9/11 or September 11th being a symbolic attack day is the 254th day of the year, leaving 111 days left, or 111. Okay. So then that would take us to January 4th, being the splitting of the apple. Okay. And actually 3rd and the 4th. The 3rd, January 3rd, right here, would be the West Coast. And then the 4th would be the East Coast. And 4, like I said, January 4th is really 11. January is really the 11th month, and the 4th. So 11 times 4 is 44. And then, like I said, in the last timeline that went from 12/12 to 12/25, 12/23, which is the same day but on a different timeline when this apple splits, was the 44th day from the solar eclipse. From the Golden Gate alignment. That's why this is gold. So it just so happens to match on the exact day. So they do this all the time with dates and triple numbers. They do it 2 times the 1, and it makes 44 here, and that's also 44. And then down here, it'll be January 3rd in the West, because this is basically the same time as I've shared. It's the same attack coordinated on 2 different coasts or 2 different sides of the United States at the same time, but different time zones. And that is on 1/3 for the West, January 3rd, which again, January is really 11, so we have 11/3. And that's the code of that people thought was November 3rd and things would happen on November 3rd, but it's going to actually be January 3rd. November is really, the 11th month is really January. And then February is the 12th month, and the whole year starts over on the first month, which is technically March, or the spring. Okay, so that's how that works. And then, like I said before, 1225 is when the flower opened, in a sense, because there's 12 of these things in here. They're called different things. Anyway, and then we have 25 petals. Okay, so that's symbolizing this day, but it's also this day. So I'm not getting all that right now, but like I said, 1225 was the 46th day from the Golden Gate alignment on November 9th, and then January 5th is the 58th day from the Golden Gate alignment. That's why these are gold. So you have 46 being 23 and 23 a birth, and then 58 being how old Obama is right now. And that's when this is going to happen. And then so January 6th is the Epiphany, and I'm going to get into more. I'm going to get into the 12 days of Christmas. I'm going to get into more of what the Epiphany means, and Catholicism and all that, and why this all lines up so well in my next video. Okay. Now I want to talk about, and this is going to be a lot shorter video, as you already see, I'm sure. This was showing where the Truman and the Lincoln were on December 23rd. There hasn't been an update since, except for a couple days ago. As of today is the 28th when I'm doing this, and who knows when I'll get this up to YouTube. By the way, I'm going to say this ahead of time. YouTube has given me massive, massive headaches, problems, videos disappearing. In the last few times I've uploaded things, I haven't mentioned each time because I don't mention it until, I do it and then it happens, and so I can't go back and mention it before I put the video up because the video is already loading or trying to load or disappearing. This is getting worse and worse and worse, and YouTube is doing all kinds of things to me. There was times I couldn't put my email in any kind of comments. Can't heart people at different times. Every kind of thing you can imagine is going wrong on my account on purpose. It's crazy. So I just want to say that ahead of time. And if I get this video up and you're watching it right now, it's a miracle. It really is, because I can't believe how bad it's gotten especially the last month especially the last month. And that shows me how it's steadily gotten worse and worse and worse, and more of the stuff they're doing to shadow ban my videos than they ever have before. And I've proven it time and time again that less and less people are getting my videos every single time I post stuff. And I'm checking different things, I'm looking at different things, improving it, and without getting into all the details of that. But right now, well, as of the 23rd of December, the Truman was right here, and it is actually right in here in the Persian Gulf, even still. And I believe it's going to stay there for the next few days when this happens in a few days, okay? And then Abraham Lincoln was shown here north of Malaysia, right here, just off of Malaysian coast. And that was the 23rd, but I'm going to show you where it is where it was a couple days ago. Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group hosts Thai military officials, and this was 12/26. So that was the day after Christmas. That was 2 days ago, because it's the 28th as I'm speaking right now. But by the time I get this thing up and people really start watching, it'll be the 29th. But whatever. And so this is actually happening. Why did they go to Thailand? Well, because of the Thai boys. And like I've mentioned, these Thai boys, there were 12 Thai boys. And I remember Sabine just made very clear to me recently, or today I think it was, that, and it reminded me as well that they made a big deal of bring the boys from cave 9 to cave 3, 923, from cave 9 to cave 3. And there was 12 of them, and they were sitting there like they're bored. If you saw any of the footage, not just this picture, but a lot of footage, and they looked like that. They were bored. They were all sitting in different places. If you look at each figure, they look like they're bored, even though they also represent presidents, but they also represent, because their heads are much bigger than their bodies, boys. And there's the Thai boys, and they just visited the Thai boys and the Thai military and whatever just a couple days ago by the Abraham Lincoln. This is all scripted. This is all planned. This is about to go off. This is what I'm saying. And if I'm right, you'll see it in a few days here. Okay, so this is very crazy. Okay, and then how does that relate to the eclipse? So And remember, another reason why this is the birth, the 1212 was the birth, because Obama was right there with this massive eclipse looking like an egg, as in a birth in a sense, right here in Kuala Lumpur on 1212 he was, with 200 young leaders, which reminds me of the 200 angels that came down to Mount Hermon in the Book of Enoch. Anyway, so right here in the beginning of the eclipse is exactly where the Truman is right now, and that's where the Lincoln was, and it's following the path of totality. It went through here. It went up here, and now or was in Thailand. It's heading this way now, and either it'll be right in here, I'll bet, or it'll be right here, either on the 31st / the 1st, 7th, and the 8th day, or maybe all the way out to the 3rd / 4th. It'll be right here is what I'm guessing. Okay. Now we'll see how it plays out, but this will be crazy if this is exactly what I'm saying. Okay. Basically what Sabine and I have kind of come together to understand. Her insight and study and mine as well together has been really crazy. Okay. So again, let me show you here. So again, right down here is also Singapore's down here as well. Now I'm going to show you this. This is the path of totality, showing you, kind of blowing it up here a little bit, what happened on the 25th / 26th, depending on where you were in the world. And there's Singapore. Okay, there's islands right in here on the tip of Singapore called Sentosa. And there's so much to even cover. It's crazy. So the Truman went through the Golden Gate, which was the Strait of Gibraltar. And then as the Lincoln was at the Silver Gate, the Strait of Hormuz, as I've explained in videos. And then the Truman went down through the Suez Canal, which backwards is Zeus. So the birth of Zeus, going through a canal, or a birthing canal, right? And then it went through the end of the Red Sea. The bottom of the Red Sea, like I explained in my videos, is the tip of the spear, where this captain just said to Trump, exactly where they're located is right there at the Gulf of Aden, at that point where I said the tip of the spear was, and they just said that we are the tip of the spear, and they were right there. And that was a few days ago. And so they're going through all these things symbolically to finally be attacked, both of them at different places. And that's what it looks like. It's depicted in iPad Go when the woman in the burqa is crying and she has the dead boy in her. Without showing that again, I've showed it many times. Look at my previous videos. Okay, but Singapore is Singapura, which means the lion city. Okay, and there's several lions this big. This is the train station. There's this big lion with a fish body, and they're called merlions, like a mermaid, but a merlion. It's fish body with a lion head. And again, the Lincoln. The USS Lincoln is Lion King. Lincoln, Lion King. And Lincoln is aquatic. Okay, so it's a Lion King in the water, so it's a merlion in a sense. Okay, and so there's so much to Singapore, and I'll probably get into more in my next video. I'm going to show you a few things right now. So like I said, Singapore is in a lion city in Sanskrit. Okay, also, there just so happens to be another merlion overlooking this bay here, and on the other side of it is this, guess what? It's a water lily. It's the Art and Science Center there in Singapore, and it looks like a big lily, water lily. In fact, over to the left is a big area called Water Lily Gardens. It's just crazy. This is all on iPad Goat. And then you literally have shown on here the Lion King, and the color and everything looks like a Lion King's paw up, which reminds me of, like, it would be a Lion King lying down if his paws up like that, or maybe even dead, because how would a lion have his paw upside down? To me it says dead lion with the paw up, because these are like the paws, or this is a paw with the fingers or whatever up. But this is a Lion King, okay, or Lincoln, shown on here. And then check this out. So this little island that's right in here off Singapore, okay, it's called, like I said, Sentosa right here. And then this is a little article from last year. Island of Death from Behind, Dark Pass of Sentosa, the Trump-Kim Summit venue. So this is also, this was already set up ahead of time. Last year, Kim Jong-un and Trump got together for that summit, the first summit in Singapore, and this is all setting this up. And then here comes the Abraham Lincoln, like I said, the 99, like I mentioned, Trump is 9, the Lincoln is 9. They're two old Lion Kings who are going to be offed at the same time, gotten rid of, okay, eliminated, however you want to say that without being too ridiculous. But it says the venue for this week's summit in Singapore between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un is home to beautiful beaches, casinos, and some of the, oh, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, this is all set up ahead of time. And then the Abraham Lincoln, the Lion King, ends up going through that. Watch my last couple of videos. I mean, what I show the connections between Trump and Abraham Lincoln, especially in that Army-Navy game and everything, it's just really crazy. This is about to happen, folks, okay? Either it's going. My best guess is either it's going to be 31st/1st, or if that doesn't happen, then the Truman will still be in the Persian Gulf, possibly, and then the USS Abraham Lincoln will be out in the Pacific and get. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. So that's what I need to show you here. So the Truman will be right over here. That's where it is right now in the Persian Gulf, and then my best guess right now, okay, is it'll be somewhere in here, but maybe at the very end of this eclipse totality, the USS Abraham Lincoln, because right now it's heading that way, okay? And then guess what? This is North and South Korea right here. So remember I said back here that island is island of death from behind. So if the Lincoln's right here, or even right in here, it's going to get death from behind because it's supposedly heading towards its new home port. Just so happens to be in San Diego, which is across the Pacific over here to California. So as it's going this way, hit from behind by North Korea with a missile and the Christmas gift that's still in the 12 days of Christmas, because we're still in the 12 days of Christmas according to the elites and what they believe and everything, and their actual birth or the epiphany on January 5th/6th. Okay, and so this is my hypothesis right now. Okay, and remember what I've said about Obama. Okay, in Hebrew, it's Barak Obama, and if you would spell it out in English gematria is 474, and Akhenaten matches, and he is a clone, mostly a clone of Akhenaten, as I've shown and I've talked about many times in different ways. This is one example. And then I'm going to put a link in the description box of a couple different videos. You can see a little trailer and a little 7-minute clip of the movie that was out in 1992 before Barack Obama even came on the scene, called Baraka. And if you can't see the symbolism and all this, all these different religions it's showing and how he is going to unite them, and then it just so happens to show this eclipse and Baraka. I mean, if you haven't woken up to the, Antichrist being Barack Obama, I'm here to tell you, you're about to find out in real time. So I'm just giving you a heads up, because nobody comes close to what this guy, all the evidence, all the predictive programming, everything that Barack Obama is. It is really crazy, okay? And this is about his birth, and he's about to come back on the scene miraculously, in a sense. Not really, but as they would have it depicted, and how it's going to be depicted to the whole world. That's going to fool most everybody. Okay, so I'm sharing this with you. And again, I really need your help. And I wasn't going to ask again. In fact, I've been working for the last few days during the holidays, and it's been very slow. In fact, today it really snowed, and it's made life really difficult as far as trying to work in a driving job or whatever. And I'm really behind, and so I'm asking for your help for my family and for me. I don't really care about myself, really. It's my family, and I ask for your help. I need financial help. I'm going to have a link in the description box, especially any of you that have given before, if you still can. That would be great. I would appreciate it. Again, I'm leaving it to God. I spent some day working today, but then I really felt like the Lord told me that he wanted me to do this. So I had to throw this together in half of a day. And I'm just trusting that this is all a faith walk for me, and also for Sabine. as I call her S, and she's been in a few of my videos, but she's always behind the scenes, especially in the last 2-3 months. She's contributed so much to what I've shared in my videos, and I'm very thankful. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the description box for her as well, her PayPal. If you feel led to give to her as well, she would really appreciate that. I would really appreciate that. Again, we need help. We have put in our whole lives into this, and I'm still working, but it's just not cutting it. If I would have to basically just stop doing this completely, and I just couldn't do that. And I couldn't do. Lord was showing me to do this, and then I did put, as I received funds, I put more time into these videos, and I was able to crank out these last 12, 13 videos in a short time. And it would have taken me a lot longer. I might not have gotten to it all. I mean, seriously. So I just want to say to all of you that have given, I really appreciate everything you've done. And I just try to make that really clear in the description box. But I want to say it again. I really appreciate the ones that have given, and I appreciate anyone that would give now, because my family really needs it right now. And I'm not too proud to ask, even though I don't want to ask. Who does want to ask from? I mean, who does really? And so I'm asking, and I definitely continue to ask for prayers, please. I mean, I felt your prayers. I know my family's in harm's way, and they have been. And like what happened to my son, I mean, this stuff happens daily in different ways, and the Lord's just so powerful. And I'm just thankful for every one of your prayers, and also sharing these videos, because we're almost there. I really believe that. And hey, if it goes a little bit longer, then it does. I mean, I've never said I know the time. I just don't. But there's some crazy striking things that are happening. Wait till you see some of the things I have in my next video, and I'm hoping to put out in a couple of days, but I'm gonna have to spend all day tomorrow and all day Monday. And I don't want to not have to work, but I'm hoping that I get some funds that I can do that, justify that, and I can show my wife that, hey, I'm not doing this for free and not making any money. It's just what it is. I don't want to ask for money. I wish I was financially independent. I didn't have to worry about that, but that's just not the faith walk that the Lord has me on. So I just appreciate your prayers, sharing these videos, and financial support for me. And even if you feel led to give to Sabine as well, we're going to have those in the description box. I just thank you from the bottom of my heart, and so does she. And we're both in this crazy faith walk right now. We're both having struggles, massive struggles that we've had for years. I mean, I have been through so many things. I could do videos on that, but that's not what I'm called to. But I've been through just really amazing, crazy, hard things with the Lord to become more of what He's wanted me to be. And I just invite you to, get closer to Him, because it really matters. It really does matter. A life with Jesus. And He'll show you things. He'll give you amazing things. He'll heal your baby. I mean, He'll heal your baby when it looks like it looks really bad. And He'll move mountains. He'll part the Red Sea when it looks like you're at the end and you have nowhere to go and everything's bearing down on you. It looks like the armies of Egypt are coming at you and you're going to die. He'll part the Red Sea for you. So I'm expecting Him to part the Red Sea for me right now financially. So I just thank you for everything. And whatever happens, happens. The Lord is in it. He is there all the time. And I'm thankful, even though sometimes this stuff is very hard. And it's not for me. It's really usually for the ones I love. And all you out there that I care about, and I want you to be supported in this stuff before it happens, because it's coming. It's coming. So thank you. And this is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.